Most people who come to Ontario visit Niagara Falls. It is our most famous natural attraction. Many people who have never been to Ontario think Niagara Falls is in the United States because the American Niagara is beside ours. But only from Ontario can the full panoramic beauty of Niagara Falls be seen and appreciated. This same misconception sometimes exists in the boardrooms of companies in other countries interested in investment opportunities in North America. Usually they know more about the United States than they do about Canada, and they know even less about the province of Ontario. This is Ontario, located in the center of North America. Ontario is the largest of Canada's 10 provinces in terms of population, over 8 million, or 36% of Canada's total population of 22.5 million. Its area is 1,056,210 square kilometers, almost equal to that of France, Germany, and Italy together, or about twice that of Texas, or nearly 3 times that of Japan. Over 100 million consumers in the United States and Canada are within a day's drive of Ontario. This is one of the wealthiest per capita markets in the world. Ontario alone generates about 40% of Canada's buying power, and this power is growing constantly. Last year, per capita income in Ontario was $5,600, one of the highest in the world, and 12% above the Canadian average. Ontario is blessed with immense natural resources, including 15 basic minerals. The province has half the world's supply of nickel and the largest supply of uranium in the Western world. 167 million acres of forest and swift-running rivers have been harnessed to generate the bulk of 80 billion kilowatt hours of primary electrical energy in 1974. The magnificence of Niagara Falls is more than a tourist wonder. Nearby can be seen the Ontario Hydro Generating Plant to utilize this awesome concentration of water energy. There is convincing evidence that thermal, electric, and nuclear generating stations will assure ample power for the future. Ontario's rich soil yields the highest total agricultural production in Canada. This wealth of natural resources provides Ontario with a host of raw material for industry. These raw materials helped make manufacturing a $34.2 billion success last year and will continue to support industrial growth in the province. In the last decade, factory shipments in Ontario have gone up 156%. Ontario is by far the most industrialized province in Canada. Ontario produces 89% of Canada's motor cars, 86% of its iron and steel, 27% of its pulp and paper. In fact, Ontario produces over half of all goods manufactured in Canada. Moreover, 82% of Canada's fully manufactured exports originate in Ontario. A multi-billion-dollar construction program has made Ontario the fastest-growing province in Canada. Toronto, its capital, leads all North American cities in industrial expansion and in per capita construction. Last year alone, the city issued industrial building permits for $110 million in new construction. Manufacturers pour more than $1.5 billion a year into the Ontario economy in capital investment, in construction, in machinery and equipment. Last year, the gross provincial product was $57 billion, equal to 41% of the Canadian total. Retail sales were $16.3 billion, equivalent to 37% of sales across the entire nation. One reason for Ontario's successful and promising industrial position is her accessibility to major markets. Located in the heart of North America, Ontario's excellent network of roads, her modern air and rail facilities, make transportation of goods to markets an economical venture. 12,000 miles of superhighways and 80,000 miles of secondary roads crisscross the province. The St. Lawrence Seaway, part of a 2,300-mile deep-water route from the Gulf of St. Lawrence into the interior of North America by way of the Great Lakes, allows ocean-going ships access to industrial and transshipment centers far inland. Just 2.5 kilometers from the center of the city is Toronto Island Airport, the proposed site for a new short takeoff and landing aircraft facility. The STOL aircraft, developed by de Havilland Aircraft of Canada, an Ontario-based firm, will provide a flexible and efficient short-haul passenger and cargo air service throughout the province and the northeastern United States. Another factor contributing to Ontario's industrial predominance is her people. Ontario's workforce of 3.5 million is made up of highly skilled and hard-working people who take pride in their production. Ontario is unsurpassed as a place to live. Her cities offer the traditional pleasures of urban living while maintaining a happy harmony with nature in their many parks, recreation, and conservation areas. During the past 3 years, over 300,000 housing units were completed in Ontario, 1/3 of all housing completions in Canada. Ontario boasts one of the finest educational systems in the world, as well as many efficient and up-to-date health and social programs. In spite of her tremendous advantages as a center for industry, Ontario still enjoys an international reputation as a vacation land. There is ample reason for this reputation. Ontario's 250,000 lakes and thousands of square miles of forest and woodland provide a haven for the weary city dweller seeking some fresh air, peace, and quiet. Hundreds of resorts and recreation facilities throughout the province offer city comforts, even golf courses, in wilderness surroundings. Many are open year-round to cater to skiers. Visitors are sometimes surprised, always fascinated by the sophistication of our cities. Toronto, Ontario's capital, is a city of over 2 million people and is one of the cultural centers of North America. Toronto is a clean, safe city, even at night, which takes equal pride in its parks and in its modern skyscrapers that house more industrial and business head offices than any other city in Canada. More than 25 million square feet of new industrial space was added to Toronto Economic Region's industrial plant growth in 1973 alone, making Toronto one of the fastest growing industrial centers in the world. Here's Sheridan Park, a large, modern industrial community just west of Toronto, where the research facilities of established companies can be used to help new ones. Toronto's public transit system, including its efficient subway, has for years won awards for safety of operation. Station parking areas and the GO Train commuter service bring Toronto closer to neighboring residential communities. A high point, quite literally, for visitors to Toronto is the 553-meter Canadian National Tower. Recently built as the hub of a vast communications network, the CN Tower is the tallest freestanding structure in the world. Turning slowly at the 350-meter level is the world's highest revolving restaurant. It can accommodate as many as 450 diners, with seating designed to offer full exposure to the views of Toronto Islands, Lake Ontario, and the city. Ottawa, the capital of Canada, is also in Ontario. The center of government for the country, it is a beautiful city of parks and canals. As an indication of the province's popularity as a tourist attraction, 33.9 million visitors from all over the world spent $1.2 billion in Ontario in 1974. Ontario is a colorful mosaic of many cultural and ethnic origins. As evidence of this, the province's radio and television stations broadcast in more than 30 languages, and the 54 ethnic newspapers in Ontario reach nearly 2.5 million readers. Companies from all over the world have taken advantage of Ontario's ample investment opportunities. Products from well-known international, industrial, and business concerns have become a part of Ontario's commercial vocabulary. A complete range of products, from heavy machinery and mining equipment from companies headquartered in Sweden, typewriters from Italy, float and sheet glass from the UK, to Bacardi rum, distilled under license from South America. Such familiar companies as Peak Freen and Bic Pens from the UK and France have found ideal manufacturing and marketing conditions in Ontario. Such diverse product lines as automotive parts and accessories from Japan, camera lenses and optical equipment from Germany, electric wire and cable from Italy, and plumbing and heating controls from Denmark are made in plants in Ontario. In the home entertainment and communications fields, there is Panasonic of Japan and AEG Telefunken from Germany, which have become household words. These are but a few of the thousands of products of foreign headquartered companies thriving in the favorable economic climate of Ontario. From our U.S. neighbors, we have scientific and medical instruments and data processing systems. From ACO Assmann, with corporate head offices in Austria, there are plastic products and acid containers. Add to this those companies engaged in the manufacture of roller and ball bearings and pharmaceutical preparations, such as SKF and Astra Chemicals of Sweden, gas turbine engines from the UK, alkaline aircraft batteries from France, and we see an international roster of companies whose continued success is overwhelming evidence of the soundness of their decision to locate in Ontario. Their reasons for locating in Ontario are as varied as the landscape of the province itself. Simple economic considerations, like Ontario's ideal position in relation to major markets, her abundant energy, her skilled workforce, and her efficient transportation network are obvious reasons. But of equal importance is the nature of the province itself, Ontario's wide open spaces, her engaging cities, friendly people, and robust atmosphere have always made the province an exciting place to visit, a good place to work, an easy place to live, and a great place to invest. Ontario invites you to participate in its dynamic economy. Investment opportunities are available in a number of areas. Working with government specialists, you can explore joint ventures, a partnership with an Ontario firm, licensing arrangements with Ontario companies seeking new products or processes, or opening a facility of your own. Our people will advise about building sites, marketing, labor rates, exporting opportunities, customs and taxation, and legislation in detail.